Hold up, wait a minute. You thought I was finished? Fuck you mean, boy? I spent $1,000
What up?
fucking jeans, boy. So much money, got it busting out the scenes, boy. You got my old bitch, took my new bitch out your dreams, boy. What the fuck you mean, boy?
What up?
I spent $1,000
Let's get it.
fucking jeans, boy. So much money, got it busting out the scenes, boy.
Hey.
You got my old bitch, took my new bitch out your dreams, boy. What the fuck you mean, boy? Nigga, fuck you mean? Nigga, fuck you mean? Nigga, fuck you mean? What the fuck you mean? Nigga, fuck you mean? What the 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 fuck you mean? Same hoe said I couldn't get it, try and kick it. Main dinner, spent $1,000 on a ticket. Trapping at the band, no money knocking like who is he? Think that Benji at the door. Grab the chopper, go and get it. That's a back all leaning. Ain't no rest or leave. Let that Mac all streaming. We put that crack all streaming. I got your rent on my belt. Talking your eyes on my wrist. Your car note on my jeans. My sneaks bloody as shit. That's murder scene. Bloody murder. Bloody murder. Bloody murder. I ain't your bitch do all this money. Make her nervous. Make her nervous. She doing good and I'ma pay her for a service. When bosses talking, shut your mouth if you a worker. Cause I've been working, chasing money like I'm hurting. Getting pussy in my main back. Think the driver heard us roll a partition up. All in the cut ain't like this bro, give a fuck. I know she down for whatever, gon' do it all for a buck. And then that pussy back home, know we gon' buff for a month. Cause real niggas pay first. That's why we all in the front. And suckers all in the back. And all of us strapped. Why we don't fuck with you pussy niggas? Cause all of them rats. Like fuck you mean, boy? I spent $1,000 on these motherfucking jeans, boy. So much money, got it busting out the scenes, boy. You got my old bitch, took my new bitch out your dreams, boy. What the fuck you mean, boy? What the fuck you mean, boy? I spent $1,000 on these motherfucking jeans, boy. So much money, got it busting out the scenes, boy. You got my old bitch, took my new bitch out your dreams, boy. What the fuck you mean, boy? Nigga, fuck you mean? Nigga, fuck you mean? Nigga, fuck you.
What up, y'all? What's going on? What's up? Man, how y'all doing on this evening? Welcome to the Atmos Love Zone. Y'all please excuse the language of those songs, man. Sometimes Atmos is still a little bit of turn up music. Sometimes I can turn up too. Turn up. Let me see who up in here rock on me today. Daughter of the Most High, hello. How are you? To be Black Native, hello. A2L _ 1908, how you doing? Chanel Lewis, what's good? Miss Kennedy, how you doing? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Man, so y'all, there's so much to talk about out here on these YouTube. There's so much to talk about, right? But today, I felt compelled to get some reading in. this whole Sean Diddy Puffy Combs thing has just been totally revealing, unbelievable, mind-blowing. Hey, Lady Five Sign, how you doing? Mind-blowing, right? Man, I've been grinding, I've been working, so I said, you know what? It's time for me to get back on my grind, get back to what I love to do, which is bring y'all the information, okay? So we gonna do some reading, y'all. I got the paperwork. Shout out to Keller for looking out. And y'all know me, okay? If you know my history, if you've done your homework on me, do your homework. We like to read the paperwork. We like to read the facts. And we give our opinions based on what we read. Some things are in here are alleged, right? So we're just going to cover the whole blanket and say everything here is alleged, okay? Everything here is alleged. What up, Dana? What's going on, bro? Everything here is alleged, right? So we're not saying that that any of this stuff is true. We're not saying any of this stuff is a lie. We're saying it is alleged, okay? So what we're going to do here, breaking news, Sean Combs' new lawsuit, paperwork, Diddy versus Jones. It's so many companies getting sued right now, y'all. That is traced to him, right? Season of exposure is here, right? So we're going to get into this, y'all. I'm going to break this up into parts, okay? I'm going to break this up into parts, but we're going to get this started. I am excited to read this and get into it. What's up, Chocolate82467? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. All right, y'all, let's see what we got going on here. So here is the paperwork that we talking about right now. Give me one moment. Let me make some changes to my screen. Okay, let's go over here. Let's take this down. Here we go. Okay, let me move this fire. Let's move this fire out the way. I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to move this fire out the way also. You come on up here, fire. You can flame up there, okay? So check this out. I'll brace myself. Oh, man. It's going to be crazy like that. Let's see. So, y'all, this is United States Federal Court, Southern District of New York. This is Rodney Jones versus Sean Diddy Combs. Let me take this thing down. Versus Sean Diddy Combs, Justin Dior Combs, Ethiopia, Maria, Lucian Charles Grange, Christina Coram, Chalice Recording Studios, Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Music Group, Combs Global Enterprises, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and ABC Corporations 1 through 10. Wow. So those are the defendants. Obviously, Rodney Jones is the plaintiff. He is suing them in this jury command. Let me see what Dana talking about. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button for your bro. I don't expect the algorithms to pick me up yet because I'm just coming back on. I've been going for a while. However, it's going to pick up as we get into part 2, 3, and 4. However, all right, let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. So there's a trigger warning. There is a trigger warning on this paperwork. And that trigger warning says this document contains highly graphic information of a sexual nature, including sexual assault. Additionally, there are graphic images of the aftermath of a shooting, redacted images of sexual intercourse, redacted images of minors, sex workers, and prostitutes, details of sex trafficking, and illegal description of guns and drugs. Oh my gosh. Bro, remember this links to old paperwork shown last year. Okay, this links to old paperwork. Okay. I love you, admins, but thank you for the like, Chanel Lewis. All right, here we go. Plaintiff Rodney Lil Rod Jones, Mr. Jones, hereby alleges as and for his complaint against defendant Sean Combs, Mr. Combs, defendant Justin Dior Combs, Defendant Lushan Charles Grange. Mr. Grange. Defendant Ethiopia Habteramariam. I'll get that eventually. Defendant Christina Coram. Defendant Charlize Recording Studios. Defendant Love Records. Defendant Motown Records. Defendant Universal Music Group. Defendant Combs Global Enterprises. Okay, here we go. Jurisdiction and venue. This court has personal jurisdiction over the defendants under and consistent with the constitutional requirements of due process, in that the defendants acting directly or through his agents or apparent agents committed one or more of the following. So these are the things that the plaintiff is saying, Mr. Jones is saying that Sean Combs and the other people that he is suing committed. So they are saying the transaction of any business within this state, making of any contact within the state, the commission of a tortious act within this district, and the ownership, use, or possession of any real estate in this state. From September 2002 to the date of this filing, defendants have consistently and purposefully availed themselves of the privilege of conducting activities within New York, thus invoking the benefits of protections of New York law. In return for these benefits and protections, defendants must submit to the burdens of litigation in New York. Okay, here we go. This litigation arises from or relates to the tortious activities defendants visited upon defendants in the states of New York, California, Florida, and the United States Virgin Islands. This tortious conduct violated United States federal RICO laws. What's going on, Hayward? Hayward Janelle, how you doing? Finally got to watch it live. Right. Thank you so much. I love you too. All right, here we go. Let's see. Requiring the defendant to litigate these claims in this district does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Plaintiffs' claims arise from some conduct occurring by defendants in New York. So they're saying that a lot of this stuff happened in New York, and it happened in other places also. So because these things happened in New York, they are under the laws and the consequences of New York. Okay, this is where they brought this out at. Okay, the parties. Plaintiff Rodney Jones is an American artist and music producer. Okay, so Mr. Jones is a music producer. Mr. Jones resides in the state of New York and California. So he's from New York and California. Okay. The defendant, Sean Combs, is a rapper and record executive, popularly known by his stage names Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Diddy, Brother Love or Love. Mr. Combs came to fame in the early 1990s with his record label Bad Boy Records. He rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decades and is regularly referred to as a hip-hop mogul. Mr. Combs resides at what? They put this man's address up here? Mr. Combs resides at 200 South Mapleton Drive in Beverly Hills, California. Dang, like that. What's up, Kim Johnson? Ms. Bless, how you doing? Awesome. Thank y'all for coming in here. San Juan in here. Hey, San Juan, if I missed you, how you doing? Okay, here we go. Dang, they put the man's address and everything in here. Oh, wow, they got pictures. Okay, so this is Sean Combs, as y'all have seen him before, right? There's P. Diddy, okay? The defendant, Justin J.R. Combs, the son of Mr. Combs, and Misa Helton. J. Combs was born on December 30th, 1993. J. Combs is a producer and actor. He has appeared in TV series like Catfish, the TV show Wildin' Out, and Hip Hop Squares. Defendant Justin Dior Combs resides at 1550 L. Okay, y'all see it. So that's his son. Okay. Defendant Lucian Charles Grange is a CEO of Defendant Universal Music Group. Defendant Lucian, I'm not gonna read everybody's address, y'all, but this is y'all get the point. Okay, this guy, Lucian Charles Grange. Okay, that's Lucian Charles Grange. Okay. Defendant Ethiopia Haber Thomarium is a former CEO of Defendant Motown Records. Let me move myself over a little bit. Okay. Motown Records. The parent company of Defendant Love Records. Defendant Habtamarium resides at, that's his address. This person getting so that's Ethiopia right there. Okay. Defendant Christina Coram is the chief of staff of Sean Diddy Combs Global Enterprises. She resides in California. Okay, that's her. Let's see. Defendant Charlize Recording Studios is a popular recording studio located in California. Okay, so I guess that's their emblem. Defendant Motown Records is a record label with a principal place of business located at, Motown. There we go. Motown. Okay. Defendant Universal Music Group is a record label and the principal place of business located in California. All these places in California, y'all. Isn't that crazy? Defendant Love Records is a record label with a... Hold on, y'all, real quick. What's up, Naja? You in the car? Okay, I'll call you back. Okay. Defendant Love Records is a record label with the principal place of business located at blah, blah, blah. Defendant Combs Enterprise, a diverse portfolio of business and investments that includes music, fashion, fragrance, beverage, marketing, film, television, and media properties. And they have a principal place of business located in New York, New York. Okay. Here we go. They got everybody address. Good grief. And Rodney Lil Rod Jones is from the Windy City. He from Chicago. He is from Chicago, y'all. He was actually born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Jones is the second oldest son and fourth child out of 9 siblings. Mr. Jones comes from a long line of gospel music influences. Okay, so this guy, okay, there you go. Okay, they blocked out a bunch of the faces of the people. Okay, I guess that's him back there. Mr. Jones started playing instruments at the age of 5. Wow, he began playing drums in church. And at the age of 13, he picked up playing the guitar. From 13 to the present day, Mr. Jones has taught himself to play over 13 instruments. So this guy's very, very, very talented, y'all. Very talented artist. Okay, that's him. They called him a child prodigy at that time. Okay. Mr. Jones is considered a musical prodigy. His talents have led him to produce and create a commercial marketplace for music that has been recorded by some of the most prestigious and highly acclaimed artists in the music industry. Throughout the duration of his career, Mr. Jones has worked the South Side of Chicago music scene, playing with the following legendary greats: the Georgia Mass Choir, Donald Lawrence, the Clark Sisters, and Smokey Norfolk. On or about August of 2022, Mr. Jones received a call from Mr. Combs requesting that he produce several songs on the Rhythm and Blues album titled The Love Album, Off the Grid Love Album. Mr. Jones agreed, and his life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. Y'all, if y'all don't mind hitting, now y'all doing good on the like button. Okay, we got 13 out of 21. If you don't mind hitting the like button, I promise you it's free. I appreciate you. Okay, so here we go. Summary of events. From September 2022 to November 2023, Mr. Jones produced 9 songs on Mr. Combs' Love album. Mr. Jones lived with Mr. Combs for months at a time, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing major family events. Mr. Jones resided at Mr. Combs' residence located in Los Angeles, California, New York City, and Miami, Florida. Mr. Jones also spent several weeks on a yacht rented by Mr. Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love album. Okay, Here we go. The claims raised in this complaint have been corroborated through witness statements, video and audio recordings, and images that Mr. Jones has in his possession. Ooh. Let me read that one more time, y'all. Now, listen. As far as this channel goes, everything on here is alleged. Allegedly, whatever, alleged, okay? However, it says here in this paperwork that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to, okay, hold on, let me go back up. The claims raised in this complaint, number 26, the claims raised in this complaint have been corroborated, which means it all came together. It matches up. It's real. There's proof. There's receipts. Okay? We're going to talk about receipts. Let's talk about what the receipts are. Okay? Corroborated through witness statements, video / audio recordings. So they got them on video. And images that Mr. Jones has in his possession. So the man had pictures of what happened. He had the receipts, y'all. It says Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him consistently. Who else would this sound like? I don't understand why people want to record themselves doing crazy stuff. I don't get it. Here we go. Record him consistently. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal act. Huh? What? Really? Let's continue. Mr. Jones has secured irrefutable. Alexa, what does irrefutable mean?
The adjective irrefutable is usually defined as not capable of being refuted or disproved. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Which means it can't be overturned. It is as real as it gets. Irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, whatever the heck that is, ketamine, marijuana, and mushroom. Now, y'all know they use ketamine to spike your drink. They use ketamine to take you on up out of here so you don't know what's going on around you. And mushrooms. The displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms. Mr. Combs provided laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes in California, New York, and U.S. Virgin Islands and Florida. Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Christina Coral, KK, instructed her staff to retrieve drugs so she could provide it to Mr. Combs for his consumption. Christian Combs, drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. His son drugged and sexually assaulted a woman. Mr. Combs detailed how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact on his public image of Casey Ventura's lawsuit. So there was a lot of stuff going on when it came to T.D. Jakes, right? So far, I haven't seen anything that's come out other than him doing a little dance. People said he was twerking or whatever, right? He was being silly, whatever. I don't know everything. That's why we read. However, so Sean P. Diddy used his relationship with T.D. Jakes to soften his impact on what the public image will be over Casey. Young Miami's cousin and or an assistant sexually assaulted by Mr. Jones. Hold on. Young Miami's cousin and or assistant sexually assaulting Mr. Jones. What? After Cuba Gooding Jr. sexually harassing and assaulting Mr. Jones. What? Is that the radio dude? The dude that played in radio? The dude that was... Wow, that's one of my... I like him. Damn. Really, Cuba Gooding Jr.? Okay. Rapper. Okay, the rapper is redacted. On Mr. Combs' yacht consorting with underage girls, sex workers, and R&B singer redacted Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home consorted with underage girls and sex workers. Charlize recording studio shooting. On or about September 12, 2022, Mr. Combs held a writers and producers camp at Charlize recording studio at 845 Highland in Los Angeles. Present, Chocolate, yeah, he was in Boys in the Hood. Yeah, I remember him. Okay, cool. Present at his camp were Mr. Combs and his son Justin Combs and Justin's friend named G. Mr. G is a 30-year-old tall African-American male. In addition to these individuals, other musicians were present at the camp. The writer has spoken to several musicians who attended the camp. One evening, during the camp, Mr. Combs, Jay Combs, his son, and G, his son's friend, were in a heated conversation. The conversation was moved out of the studio and into a restroom adjacent to where Mr. Jones was sitting. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out. Mr. Jones recalls hearing multiple shots. What the hell? So, y'all, I'm going to read some of these footnotes. It says, this writer spoke with several employees of the lot rented by Mr. Combs in the Virgin Islands, who personally witnessed the defendant Coram instruct her staff, Brendan Paul, Frankie Santella, and Moy Bon spike bottles of champagne with ecstasy. A complaint is forthcoming. He is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, Philadelphia rapper. Could that be Meek Mill? And he is a Grammy Award-winning R&B singer who had trouble with law enforcement after assaulting Bajan billionaire. Alexa, what R&B singer assaulted Bajan billionaire?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, what R&B singer assaulted Bajan billionaire?
I don't know that one.
Okay, Alexa says she don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So let me do this. Let me do this, y'all, because I want to just make sure I'm hold on. Let me just look at this. Let me Google. We do research over here, okay? R&B singer assaulted Bajan billionaire. Okay, let's see. Glock topics: a rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and an R&B singer who assaulted Bajan consorted with underage girls. Okay. Oh. Are they talking about Chris Brown? Oh, shoot. Y'all, they talking about Chris Brown. Collateral damage from new Diddy rape case includes Meek Mill and Chris Brown. Damn. Here we go. Rodney Williams against claimed rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and R&B singer who was safe to... Ooh. They talking about Chris Brown. I know Miss Angie, man. Oh, boy. Here we go. Let's go. So that's what it is, y'all. They talking about Chris Brown right here. Okay? Here we go. Let's move on. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and feared that he would be shot next. Mr. Jones genuinely believed that he would be shot through the door due to how close he was. After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom When the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and J. Combs exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out his leg and hip area. Everyone stood around looking upon G, frustrated by the lack of aid to G. Mr. Jones dropped everything, ran to G, and immediately began placing pressure on G's gunshot wound into his stomach. As he was applying pressure to his stomach, Mr. Jones realized G was gushing blood in another area near his leg or hip. Oh my gosh. He decided to lift G and place him and sit him on the toilet. Mr. G asked the crowd to call the ambulance. Mr. G lifted G and brought him to the ambulance to the studio's front. At this time, Mr. Combs and Justin disappeared to another part of the studio. Mr. Combs gave restricted instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police, telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. What? What? Wow. No, Miss Kennedy. I think they call Rihanna the Beijing billionaire. I could be wrong, but I think they call Rihanna the Beijing billionaire, and they say that Nicki Minaj used to date Meek Mill. She didn't date Chris Brown. She dated Meek Mill. Okay? The Philadelphia rapper. Okay, here we go. Let's move on. Man shot outside party at Hollywood recording studio. Oh, wow. Okay, so they have a news article here. At least one person was shot at a party at a Hollywood recording studio, police said Monday. Officers were called to the 800 block of North Highland Avenue at Willoughby to check into reports of a shooting at about 3 a.m. According to the LAPD, at the location, they found a man had been shot after stepping outside the studio. The man in his 30s was taken to the hospital in stable condition. He was reportedly shot in the abdomen. Sky 2 was over the scene early Monday, spotted several people sitting outside the location being questioned by police. No information was released about the suspect, and it's not known if the shooting was gang-related. Wow. So he told them the line, they lied for him. Kim said P. Diddy's strategy was to pull others into crimes and corruption to keep them quiet. I see. Damn, like that? Okay, let's. The man who was in his 30s was taken to the hospital in stable condition. He was reportedly shot in the abdomen. Sky 2 was over the scene early Monday, spotted several people sitting outside. Some information. Okay, I don't know if it was gang related. Okay. So, 45, it says, Mr. Jones has several corroborating witnesses who spoke with his writer anonymously due to the fear of retaliation from Mr. Combs. They have agreed to speak publicly when subpoenaed. Oh my. Oh. Woo! It's about to get crazy, y'all. It's about to get crazy. Mr. Jones has the clothing he wore that day and believes it may still have the stains of DNA of G's blood. The following are screenshots of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot earlier by Mr. Combs or J. Combs. Okay, I do not want to see that. Aftermath. Clearly, G was not shot outside the studio, as Mr. Combs instructed his team to report to law enforcement. Mr. Combs and defendants LR, MR, UMG, and CRS provided private security for the writers' camp at the defendant CRS. The security was porous and lackluster at best. The fact that either Mr. Diddy or J. Combs were allowed to enter into CRS with guns, and those guns were not confiscated by security, is a clear breach of duty by Mr. Combs' defendants LR, MR, and UMG to protect Mr. Combs and the other attendees at the writers' camp. As a result of this shooting, Mr. Combs is severely traumatized. Mr. Combs now suffers from PTSD, severe anxiety, depression, and insomnia. I wonder where he's going to be when it comes to this trial. Mr. Jones was sexually assaulted sexually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Combs. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was a victim of consistent, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. These events took place in LA, New York, Florida, and the United States Virgin Islands. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching, Mr. Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. As a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances and expressed his discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Christina Coram, or KK. KK responded to Mr. Jones' complaint with, Sean will be Sean. Wow. KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs groping into Mr. Jones' anus and genitals as friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Combs' way of showing that he likes you, Mr. Jones. Despite these assurances on several occasions when Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around his house naked, KK would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now," and she would disappear. KK's hypocrisy is breathtaking at best or enabling at worst. Mr. Combs believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault of him and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship. Through these sexually deviant acts, one would say Mr. Combs has a pattern and practice of engaging in such nefarious activity. This ongoing conduct shows that Mr. Combs cannot be rehabilitated. Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex. Let's read this. It says Mr. Combs was aware that Mr. Combs looked up to and idolized producer Stephen Aaron Jordan, or Stevie J. Oh, shoot. They got Stevie J in here. Stevie J is an American DJ, record producer, and television personality. That's the one that dated Joyce. What's her name? Hernandez. Is it Joyce? What's her name? Joycelyn John. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Hernandez one, the one that's crazy. I guess they was married or something. I don't know. Stevie J is an American DJ, record producer, and television personality. Stevie J was part of the Bad Boy Records production team, The Hitman. In 1997, Stephen J won a Grammy Award for his work on Puff Daddy's debut album. Throughout the late 1990s, Stevie J produced for several artists, including Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, the Notorious B.I.G. Oh, yeah, Biggie. That's my homie. I love me some Biggie, y'all. Jodeci, Faith Evans, Jay-Z, and Eve. Okay, Stevie J was one of the producers of the Love album. Mr. Combs used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration of Stevie J to groom and entice Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. Mr. Jones went so far as to share a video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male without a... What? This was done to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality, according to Mr. Combs. This is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stephen J is doing it. Jocelyn Hernandez, yeah, the Puerto Rican princess. Yeah, that's it. Mr. Combs informed Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper Redacted, R&B singer Redacted, and Stevie J. Mr. Combs promised to make sure Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexuality. The following are screenshots of the video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male that He is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. He performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. This right is in possession of the video and provide it in court. Okay. That's blanked out. Wow, y'all. Sheesh. Wow. On Thanksgiving Day of 2022, y'all. Damn, Stevie J. On Thanksgiving Day 2022, Mr. Jones was in Mr. Combs' house located in Miami, Florida. Young Miami and her female cousins were also present. Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded to walk to the restroom. While using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs sent her in there to sexually assault Mr. Jones. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on Mr. Jones' exposed penis. Mr. Jones pushed her away and exited the bathroom. Young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection. Hold on, y'all. Did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection and proceeded to follow Mr. Jones out the bathroom. She started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in the presence of Combs and his staff. Once again, Mr. Jones pushed her off. The following images were from a video of Young Miami, her cousin, and Mr. Jones at Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs and in the Thanksgiving right before Mr. Combs invites Mr. Jones to the bathroom, attempting him to force him to take cocaine. Wow. Can it get any more detailed? Can you have more receipts and details in this? Trafficking and Victims Protection Act. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was transported from California to New York, Florida, and the United States Virgin Islands. During this time, Mr. Jones was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. On or about February 4th, 2023, Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring prostitutes and sex workers back to his home in Miami, Florida. Okay. So the sex workers that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back to his home. Okay, those are the girls. Okay. On or about February 2nd, 2023, incident that Mr. Jones believed Mr. Combs drugged him. Mr. Jones recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in bed with two sex workers and Mr. Combs. He also recalls aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. Sheesh. Whew. Oh my. Okay. Sex workers in Mr. Jones' bed the morning after being drugged. On another occasion in Miami, Florida, on Thanksgiving night of 2022, Mr. Combs asked Mr. Jones and DeForest Taylor to enter the studio bathroom. He asked them for $100 bill because he wanted them to do cocaine with him. Mr. Jones was scared, but luckily he didn't have a $100 bill. So Mr. Combs waited a little later to do coke with Young Miami. Later that evening, he required Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers from Booby Trap on the river located in Miami. Mr. Jones did so, and Mr. Combs forced him to engage in unsolicited sex acts with these workers. Forced him. Okay, that's Booby Trap. That's Booby Trap right there. Okay. Booby Trap on the river. As part of Mr. Jones' sex worker recruitment tools, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to Booby Trap on the river as a signal to any sex worker he approached that Mr. Combs was in town and had sent Mr. Jones to recruit them. Mr. Jones had no desire to visit Booby Trap on the river. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit sex workers from Booby Trap on the river. Mr. Jones used his power and Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers from Booby Trap on the river, as detailed below. Okay, Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control of Mr. Jones. Apparently, these workers were accustomed to servicing Mr. Combs and would know that he was in town by the sight of the bad boy baseball cap. These following Instagram profiles of two of the sex workers that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and have sex at his home in Miami. Okay, so those are two of the girls there. All right, Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit or have sex with these individuals in the previous paragraph. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with these women. The following is the phone number of another sex worker that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and perform sex acts with in his home in Miami, in Florida. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit and or have sex with the individual in the previous paragraphs. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones to solicit and sleeping with the individuals above. Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control of Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. He offered him $250,000 to purchase all the instruments he wanted. He promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised access to the record label executives like defendants Lucian Charles Grange and Ethiopia. That one. Mr. Combs would often switch up his approach. He would go from promising Mr. Jones the world to threatening Mr. Jones with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Combs' face and informed Mr. Jones that he is willing to kill his mother. Hold on. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Combs' face and informed Mr. Jones that he is willing to kill his mother, Janice Combs, if he must in order to get what he wants. So he wouldn't think twice to harm Mr. Jones. Ooh. Mr. Combs and J. Combs solicits drugs and engages in illicit sex acts with minors and sex workers. On or about July 2nd of 2023 in California, Mr. Jones had a listening party at his home. Present at this listening party was a R&B guest, redacted, J. Combs, sex workers, and some underage girls. The event began at 7 p.m. Mr. Jones requested female sex workers and required Mr. Jones to solicit them. An hour later, several sex workers appeared. In addition, the sex workers were there, at least 5 women in the crowd that were under the age of 16. What? What? Hold on. Hold on. Let me read that. In addition to sex workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd that were under the age of 16. Why would you call them women? They not women, they kids. So there was 5 minors in the crowd. Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink laced De Leon liquor. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. Mr. Combs did not check the identification of any of these underage girls. The presence of these underage women made Mr. Jones very uncomfortable. He attempted to leave, and Mr. Combs forced him to stay. Mr. Combs went so far as to take Mr. Jones' car keys to prevent him from leaving. After being forced to drink laced De Leon shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and waking up at 4 a.m. the following morning naked with the sex worker sleeping next to him. Screenshots of a video from that night is embedded below. Okay. So these are redacted. Mr. Combs with an underage female, sex worker. Justin Combs with an underage female. Wow. Mr. Combs attempts to pass off Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. while they were on Combs' yacht. During the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better. He left them alone in a makeshift studio on a lot. Mr. Jones and Cuba Gooding joined moments before Mr. Jones is assaulted. As evidenced by a video of which screenshots are embedded below, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs and upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back where his buttocks and his shoulders. Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. The following is a screenshot of the encounter with Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. forcibly touching Mr. Jones on Mr. Combs' yacht. So my question is this: if this is why is this Mr. Jones dude with a smile on his face? Is it just me? Hold on, maybe I'm tripping, y'all. Let me look at this real quick. What is you, bro? Why you got a smile on your face if you? Is it just me? Is it just me, or is this dude like? Is that a smile on his face while he's claiming to be a? Is it? Y'all help me out. If that's not a smile on his face while he's saying that he's being groped and uncomfortable in this situation, y'all tell me. Is it just me, or does that not look like the face of someone who is? I mean, looking at dude, you like he's a pretty big sized dude. Like if he wanted to get him up off of him, he could do that with no problems. Now it looks to me like maybe they listening to some music, or he has some. I don't know what the hell this is, but y'all tell me. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the chat. Does it look like he's smiling right here? He is smiling, but I wonder if Maybe he was smiling before Cuba put his arms up on him. But it looks like his arm is placed there relaxed comfortably. What the hell you smiling for? You say scary smile? Okay. Uh okay. 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 It looks like he's uncomfortable. He may have tried to joke it off. Okay, now that's possible. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Look, I like y'all. I get y'all's opinions. Okay, let me get out of here. Let's move on. Cuba Gooding forcibly touching Mr. Jones. Okay. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was under an implied work for hire agreement. Okay. He was under a work for hire agreement. Okay. He was not compensated for his time doing with Mr. Combs or for the songs he produced. As evidence, he was listed as a producer for the following songs on the Love album final release: Deliver Me, Stay Part 1, Reaching, What's Love, Stay a While, Moments, Need Somebody, Homecoming, and Tough Love. Mr. Combs and defendants, LR, MR, and UMG, all benefited from Mr. Jones' work product. They failed to compensate Mr. Jones for his work. As a result, Mr. Combs and defendants, LR, MR, UMG, were all unjustly enriched to the expense of Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs attempted to work for Mr. Mr. Jones attempted to work for Mr. Combs to secure his publishing and royalty rights, and the work he completed for the Love album. Mr. Combs only offered Mr. Jones $29,000 for 13 months, thousands of hours of work, and 9 songs that made it to the Love album. Ironically, Mr. Jones was willing to take $50,000, his publishing and royalties. Mr. Combs' self-served greed would not allow him to pay Mr. Jones an additional $21,000. Mr. Combs hold on. Oh, hold on. What the hell is this? What are we looking at? Hold on. Mr. Jones' deceptive business practices became so bad that Mr. Jones was left with no choice other than to make a public plea on social media for Mr. Combs to pay him for his work. After publicly requesting that Mr. Combs do the right thing and pay him fairly, Mr. Jones received an onslaught of threatening messages from Stevie J and Love Records A&R DeForest Taylor. Okay, so here's a text message stream that says, DeForest line, you playing? I'm in the studio. LOL, you're a 100% liar and weirdo. Good luck. Number still the same? Run into, nigga. Come talk to me in public on a public podcast and forum. DeForest Taylor threatening Mr. Jones. LOL, you're a 100% liar and weirdo. Good luck. Number still the same. Run into, nigga. Come talk to me in public on a public podcast and forum. That sound like a threat to y'all? Do this sound like a threat? Hold on. Y'all know me. I like to make sure I'm okay. So the first message he sent him from this little thread here is, you playing? Mr. Jones responds and says, I'm in studio. I guess he sent him a little message. I don't know what it says in that little 6-second clip right there. But it says, LOL, you a 100% liar and weirdo. Good luck. Number still the same. Run into, nigga. Come talk to me in public on a public podcast and forum. Okay. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to threaten and intimidate Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs is a very forceful and demanding. Mr. Combs does not take no for an answer, and would even threaten to inflict bodily harm on Mr. Jones if Mr. Jones did not comply to his demands. As detailed above, Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face. On another occasion, while standing in Mr. Combs' bedroom, Mr. Jones was forced to watch Mr. Combs display his guns and bragging about getting away with shooting people. Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. Okay, we all remember that. Right? He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed on the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. Sean Combs and Jennifer Lopez arrested after New York shooting. I remember this time period. Sean P. Diddy Combs, were arrested Monday in criminal possession of a gun after the gun allegedly found. Okay. The shooting in Chalet's recording studios confirmed Mr. Combs' statements. These statements reinforced Mr. Jones' fear of Mr. Combs and strengthened Mr. Combs' dominion and control of Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones was terrified of Mr. Combs. He felt like he could not tell him no. Mr. Combs consistently made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and in law enforcement. Mr. Combs made it clear in his head of security, Fahim Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad had the power to make people and problems disappear. Okay, that's Fahim Muhammad. Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad if they ever get pulled over by police in Miami or California. Upon information and belief, Mr. Muhammad spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the CRS. The LAPD and CRS had witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the bogus claim that the shooting of G occurred outside the studio. That was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connections within law enforcement. Mr. Jones had no reason to believe Mr. Combs, as he had seen firsthand through the shooting of G and subsequent silence of the LAPD and media that Mr. Combs indeed had the power to harm him. The LAPD spent hours in CRS and after shooting of G, yet there were no arrests. Mr. Jones witnessed the LAPD in the restroom pictured above, had no arrests were made. The morning after the shooting, Mr. Jones and several others arrived at CRS and G's blood was still on the floor in the bathroom. Mr. Combs hired a cleaning crew to clean it up. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to come back tomorrow for part 2 of this here. So we're going to stop right here at page 27. Y'all, this is as damaging as it gets. This is as damaging as it gets. I am I'm past in awe. Like, this is it's insane. It's insane. And this is like some of the same things that he did to this guy, he did to other people. Wow. Keller said, so now I question if Diddy is responsible for Tupac getting shot in New York. It definitely seems like he got the strength to do it. Right? Y'all hold one moment. What's up, friend? Okay, I'll call you back. Wow. What up, Dre? What's good? They said Diddy and Snoop was responsible for that. Yeah, we stopped at 27, y'all. We're going to pick up tomorrow. At 27. We're going to do a part 2 tomorrow. But let me read some of y'all comments. in here. What's up, Naps TV? Naps TV said, I guess we know what deleted Kim allegedly. Right. Diddy was grooming his own son. Man, I know good and well I'll be sure is not proud of what Justin is doing and getting into, even though Diddy adopted him. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay, that's not even his real son. It looks like he uncomfortable. He may have tried. Okay, yeah, about that putting his hand. Yeah. If he's willing to delete his mother, deleting Kim and Pop were nothing. Right. Ms. Bless, what up? Yep, smells like RICO charges to me. Man, y'all, listen, here's my thing now. I don't know if it's because the statute of limitations has run out, right? But I, I, I'm mind blown that P Diddy is even this sick to even do this kind of stuff to people. I think just his money and fame and everything just got to his head, right? But y'all listen. Thank y'all for what's up, Fee? What's going on? If you would, let me see, we at 32. If you could hit the like button, I would appreciate that. Thank you for coming on. We're gonna do part 2 tomorrow. We're gonna pick up from page 27 and continue. Okay. Thank y'all for coming in. This was definitely eye-opening. P. Diddy is a monster. And this is being shown. This guy, Mr. Jones, has shown all kind of proof, all kind of like it's crazy. Okay. But y'all listen. Thank y'all for coming over. I love y'all. I will holler at y'all later on. Okay. Peace out.